Hi everyone. Welcome to H&M Diagnose online training. This is a video 13, file handling, read and write. Let me ask you something real. Every application you use, whether it is a Spotify, Netflix, even a WhatsApp, stores data somewhere. They save your playlist, your watch history, your messages, and your data, whether it is a photo, video, or message, or anything. This data has to be saved to disk somewhere. At the most fundamental level, that means reading and writing files. Today we are going to learn exactly that. File handling in Python. Open files, reading content, writing new content, and appending data, all of it. Let's build something real today. Before we touch any code, let's understand why this matters. Right now, all your Python program stores data in variables. What happens to variables when your programming ends? They're gone forever. So they gone forever. Every time you restart the program, you start from scratch. Here, file solves that problem. Files persist on a disk even after your programming ends. The data is still there. We'll see the real world uses. See, saving a list of Tollywood movies to a text file, not just movies. We can add a list of names or a list of students in from a school, list of teachers, and writing log files to track errors and storing user data between sessions, and the reading configuration settings, and the export reports. Think about it. Every time you run a program that remembers something behind the scenes, it's reading and writing files. That's what you're learning today. Everything in a Python file handling starts with the open function. For open function, the basic in syntax is file equal to open the file name, whatever the file name we have, file name dot txt text format, and then comma mode. The second argument is mode. You can observe here the mode. It tells Python how you want to open the file. We have a different type of modes to open a file. Let me show you. R read only default. The file name must be exist here. Okay, then only it will read. W write and wipes. W is like write. It creates a file if not exist and then wipes off, erases the existing content. Here are 6 modes. A is append, adds the data to the end of the file, and it doesn't erase. Okay, and then RB, it reads and write both. File must exist, and RB is a read only a binary for like images, PDFs, and files, docs, like that. And WB is a write binary, so it writes a binary data only, like creating images, PDFs, like that. The most important thing to remember, W mode. W mode is wipes the file if the file exists. All previous content is gone. Use A to add to existing content. Okay. Now let's understand with the different modes by using it. Firstly, I am taking a W because it's very important mode, and W mode. So this is for this creates file or exists the or removes the existing data. Let's see, I am taking a file equal to open movies dot txt. Okay, then file dot write. I am writing a data inside the file. This file open movies dot txt. It creates this file movies dot txt, or if it is already existed, then it removes the previous one and it creates a new one. Okay, now the file is created. Now I am writing a data, a file at write. Here I am entering movie name toxic. Okay, I just take a new line here, and then file dot write. I am adding another movie spirit. Then at the end, file data close. It is very most important. Close. Okay, now done. Now If we open with W again, we'll see again file open movies.ext. So W again it removes the previous one and it creates another file. File dot I'm writing data. Right. I'm creating another movie called Arjun Reddy. Okay. The most important file dot close. I closed it. Now let's see A mode. This appends to existing one. And firstly, if open the file called movies.txt text file. The mode I am opening A to append the data, right? And the file dot write. Here I am writing movie name animal. Then after that file dot close. Alright, done. Now let's print at the end. Done. Check movies dot see. The output is done. The done movies.txt file is created. Let's check whether file is created or not. Okay, I'm just opening my files. You can see the module 6 movies.txt file was created here. See Arjun Reddy and animal here. So at the end we created two entries. One is Arjun Reddy and another one is animal. Before we created a file and we entered toxic and spirit, but after we use the W again, at the time the previous one was deleted and the new one was created with this Arjun Reddy movie, and then we append animal. See here Arjun Reddy and animal both are created and the file name also created here. So like this you can create a files and add data to the file. But one important thing is always call a dot close after you're done. But there is a much better way with the statement. We will get it that shortly in this video. In the chapter 4, as reading files. Let's first create a file to work with any file name and then read from it different ways. For this, I am creating a file manually. Here I am creating file name called Tollywood movies.txt, right? Yeah, created. Then I'm entered some data like movies names, Arjun Reddy 1 and Animal, then Gladiator. Okay, we need to give only Tollywood movies, right? Because we created a Tollywood movies.txt. So Arjun Reddy, Animal, and the upcoming movies Toxic and Spirit, along with recent blockbusters Durandar. Okay. And at the end I'm entering Bahubali. Now let's read it in a Python. Okay, I'm closing these files because the space is very less here. We can't see the program if I open that. Okay, now the read method, it's an entire file at once. Firstly we use the first one method. Method 1 is the read method. For that I am opening a file which is a previously created Tollywood movies.txt in a read mode. Okay, see the error here is a file not found because there is spelling mistake here. Yeah, done. Yeah, now there is no error. Okay, now I'm printing the content. See the output here. The movies that we added before and manually. Arjun Reddy, Animal, Toxic, Spirit, during the Bahubali, all the movies here. And we also can check type print type of a content, that is a class string. Yes, str means a string. Now let's also print a length. Print length as a length of content invalid syntax because it meant wrong. Yes, length is a 54. The word count is 54 here. So one thing is a read gives you the entire file as a one string. Great for small files. Since we have seen a reading file at once, now reading a one liner at once. So for this I am opening a file. Our file is open. The mode is our reading mode. Okay. Here I am mentioning line 1, that is file dot read line, right, and reads this one reads the first line, and line 2 file dot read line, this reads second line, and line 3 file dot read line, this reads third line. Now it's printing time. I am printing line 1 is Ripper line 1. Okay. Now same thing for line 1 and line 2 and also line 3. So here we use Ripper or EPR. Ripper shows the slash n. Okay. Now I am closing the file dot close. Then we notice that slash n at the end of each line. To remove that, I am using a strip. Print line 1 dot strip. Okay, see here line 2 and the line 3. Okay, you can see here line 1 is opportunity slash n, animal slash n, toxic slash n. But when I use a strip here, we got a line 1 opportunity, right? Here you can see the print line 3 is showing without a slash n because I didn't use a Ripper here. Ripper is nothing but a raw representation. When I use a Ripper, I can see the exact data, raw data, how it is in my file. Okay, so that's why I'm using a Ripper. So Ripper is helps to see whether it is a new line or a tab space or any special characters inside that line. It will show. Okay, so if you don't want, we want only user friendly output, we'll just use here you can see print line 3 as a line 3. Okay, just printing, you will get data like this, line 3 toxic. Okay, chapter 5, the with statement. We have been manually calling dot close every time after opening the files. This is a risky. What if an exception occurs because we are reach any exception before it reaching to the close dot close file dot close before closing if occur any error reaches, any error happens, it throw error and the file stays open. When file is open, the data will be leak, the resource will going to lose in our files. For this, the professional solution is the with statement, also called a context manager. With the with statements, the file is automatically closed when the block ends. Even if an exception is raised inside the block, no need to ever call dot close manually. This is how every professional Python developer reads and writes files. But you may have a doubt, why dot close? Always we use with. Yes, exactly. All the times we use with. Very rarely when you need to manually close the file, and that time only we use dot close. With is like a automatic door, opening and closing, and open and dot close are like a manual. When you need a manual system, very rarely in that situations we use close. Okay, yeah, right. Let's see how to use with. I'm using a with to open file and close and opening or file. Here you can see I'm using a as a file. Okay, now file dot read. I'm printing the content. So you can see the content is opened without here I'm not using any close here, but file is automatically closed. Let's check whether file is closed or not. Print file is closed. For this I'm using file dot closed. See, file is closed. We got a true. True means it's closed. See here you can have practice questions as usual, beginner and intermediate, advanced level. Pause the video and see the questions and open your VS Code and must try these questions. Learning is not just knowing, and you must have to use in a real cases. Okay, see the errors that you getting. And today in this video we know how to open the files and read through lines and reading all lines and with statement and how to step that slash n's and everything about the file handling. And next video we're going into CSV and JSON files, the most common data forms of your work with in a real world Python projects. You'll see and you're going to use this constantly. See you in the next video. Thank you for choosing H&M Technologies online training. Bye bye, happy coding.